Hello, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Chudi Ufondu of Snowspirations Global Health Solutions. Thank you so much and welcome to our maternal and child health open clinic. Today, I'm actually in a very good place, mood-wise. I got a very beautiful news of one of my followers, one of my, fans out there who has had a very terrible infertility story, but by the special grace of God, in her late 40s, in her late, I mean, it's actually surprising that, in her late 40s, she was able to overcome a very long stretch of infertility. She tested positive, and yesterday was her bad day. So I'm so happy about that particular testimony. You see, every day we have so many beautiful testimonies from our members all over the world. And this morning, we also got a very beautiful testimony from America, a lady that didn't have money to go for her IVF, but they resorted to IUI. So it tells us the strength and the ability not to give up, even when you don't have what you need at that particular time. If you keep practicing your PPP, you will get there. So waking up to so many testimonies, there is no other way to, want to wake up and be in a mode. Now, our clinic today is going to concentrate on newborns. So there are so many new mothers in our group. There are so many expectant mothers. There are so many women in their third trimester, some are in their second trimester. And I know you've been worried about your baby, or probably you just delivered your baby and you're worried, oh, how can I take care of this tiny, very vulnerable baby? What am I going to do? So our clinic today is going to concentrate on care of newborns and best practices for every mother. Now, you see, every baby is unique. Every pregnancy is unique. You cannot have the same pregnancy experience. You cannot have the same baby experience. So you need to know how to look after your newborn. How you look after your newborn will shape subsequent stories, subsequent developments. There are a couple of things you can do to protect your newborn, especially in this era of pandemic. So today's clinic is specially meant for all pregnant women. So if you don't have anything you're doing that will take your time, please quickly rally so we can talk about this. Now, you can also invite your friends. So even if you're not pregnant right now, definitely you're going to be a mother. It's a matter of time. So acquire all the knowledge you need. Read all the articles. Watch all the videos. Attend all the clinics. Go for all master classes. We have everything we need in this group to thrive. So I'm encouraging you to invite your friends. So if you know anybody currently pregnant and worried about how she can take care of her newborn, she is in the right place. Okay, so quickly follow up, announce your location, announce your name, focus on my admin. Remember to register for this month's Super Masterclass. It will be on gender selection. Gender selection is an important topic in the home. We need to know better. If your home has lost its space because you don't have a baby boy, a baby girl, or whatever it is, if you want to have your family balanced, make sure you register for that event. You're going to acquire the knowledge you need to make the right decision. Now, all the women in our ANC lounge, you are actually required to be in this clinic because what you're going to learn today is going to shape your decisions. It might help your family to know better. It's also important you share this video with your. You see, when you are pregnant, it's not just only about you. We also want to make sure that the family is carried along. So please invite all the people that would need to be in this clinic as of now. It looks like we are having some network issues. So if you're still hearing me, can you give me a thumbs up? Please, can you give me a thumbs up? It looks like my connection is having problems. Are we all good? Do we have connection? Admin, please, can you piggyback to me? Do we all have connection? If you can all see me, just give me a high five. Okay, for some reasons, it looks like I'm having connection problem. Let me refresh. still hear me, if you can still see me, give me a thumbs up. I had a network connectivity problem. So admin, please, when you come in, if you are able to see me, if you are able to hear me clearly, give me a thumbs up, give me a signal so I will start. Okay? If you can hear me, if you can see me, please indicate with a thumbs up. Give me a signal so I will start my presentation. I just had a network issue, but I'm back. So admin, give me a signal. And if you're joining, let's know your location and confirm you can see me. Okay, everybody's good? Good. Okay, so we're going to talk about care of newborns, best practices. And I'm actually going to have a presentation because it's a topic that is really, really important to me. So I'm going to share my screen now so we can start. Okay? All right. Now, first of all, the journey of becoming a mother, it's a long journey. It actually starts before you become pregnant. So before your baby arrives, it's important you make a list of people you will need as your support system. So making a support list is very, very important, if not the most important thing you need to do. So you need a list of all your friends, real friends, family members, neighbors, co-workers, anyone you know you can count on in the time of need. Because definitely you need your friends, you need your family, you need your neighbors, you need your co-workers at some stage. So many people that are working will be on leave. So there are some co-workers that might help you with a couple of things in your workplace. So you need to compile a list ahead on time. Your real friend, your mom, your grandmom, anybody that will give you social support, compile their list ahead on time. Keep it handy prior to returning home. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. When you need help as a new mother, please ask for help. When you don't ask for help, you are going to get overwhelmed. When you get overwhelmed, you might be prone to having what we call maternal blues. Maternal blues can get worse. You can have postpartum depression. You can have postpartum psychosis. Postpartum means after childbirth. Having a new member in your family can change the whole family dynamics. So please, you're going to need people. And most people you have in your social circle, they want to help, especially if they have been through what you've been through. People love to help new moms, genuine people. Now, the second thing you have to do before you come home, stock up on your necessities. Stock up. It might be helpful to prepare the meals ahead on time. If you have people that are already at home waiting for you, you can prepare the meal and you can freeze them. You can reheat them again so that when you come back, you have pretty much everything all set out. You can fill your pantry. These are the things that people that are helping you can do. So your husband can do that. Your mom, your husband's mom, your friends, your colleagues, any which way they can help you to make sure you have the basic necessities at home. Please make sure you get them ready. Remember to also stock for members of your family. So if you have younger kids, if you have toddlers, if everybody in your family is not well provided for, think ahead on time. Thinking ahead is going to help. Now, remember you're bringing in a new member in the family. If this is your first baby, then it's a different dynamics. But if you already have other kids and you already have other members of the family, including pets, prepare the kids ahead on time. You want them to prepare themselves for the arrival of the baby, especially in this era of pandemic. Everybody must understand their role. Everybody must practice utmost hygiene. Definitely the younger ones are going to want to play with the baby, right? We have to make sure that everybody is used to the baby. If you own a pet, you might consider introducing your baby's scent before time. If you have a dog, if you have a cat, do all these ahead on time. Introduce them so they will feel at home when you bring in a new member. When you are coming back with your baby is a stranger. People in your home will need to know who your baby is. Now, please know your limits. Having a new baby changes every single thing. A baby changes your life. It's a wonderful experience, but it can be stressful. It can be exhausting. It can be emotionally tasking. No matter how strong you are as a woman, you need help. So know your limits. When you know your limits, that's when you can invite help. That's when you can call on your friends, your family, your neighbors. Whenever you need help, please ask for help. Know your limits. Sometimes even new parents need a break. When you need a break, make sure you get your break. Your partner should be handy. Some women have a lot of needs. You want to feed the baby around the corner, you don't get enough sleep. Find your limits. Don't push your limits. When you push your limits, you're going to break down. When you break down, it's going to affect your new baby. It's going to affect the whole family dynamics. And you can end up having a family problem. You can actually end up having medical problem. Okay? So you've gone through your pregnancy. You've gone through labor. You've gone through delivery. And finally, baby, it's right here staring at you. Please, the steps I'm going to give you in regards to handling your newborn baby, it's very, very important. So I'm going to take my time so you will understand it. If you haven't spent a lot of time around newborns, you won't understand their fragility. They are so fragile. When you're carrying your baby, you're so freaking out. You don't know if you're going to hurt your baby. You don't know if your baby is going to, be okay. You're so worried because they are so tiny. They are so dependent on you. So I'm going to share some basics for you to remember. Number one, in this era of pandemic, we have to make conscious efforts to observe utmost hygiene. So wash your hands or use hand sanitizers before handling your baby. 100%. This is for every singular person at home. Your husband, yourself, your mom, your husband's mom, your kids, every single person that must come closer to baby must wash their hands or use hand sanitizers. The reason is very simple. Your newborn do not have strong immune system, so they can pick up infection, including COVID. So please protect them. The best way to protect your newborn is to protect yourself. So make sure that everyone that will come near your baby, that wants to carry your baby, must have a clean hand. Must. Now, personally, I will advise you to even limit people that will come to your home, especially if your baby came before 37 weeks. When your baby comes before 37 weeks, your baby is termed preterm baby. Your baby has a lot of things they are contending with. So please, if the people that are going to come to your home are not going to be useful, they can use FaceTime. They can use social media. They can talk to you on the phone until your baby is good to go. Please protect your baby. Babies are prone to picking infections. We are in a pandemic. This is number one thing you have to do for your baby. Now, when you're carrying your baby, both for you as a new mother, your husband, your mother's mother, your father's, and everybody at home, when you are carrying your baby, support your baby's head and neck. Your baby's head and neck, it's very important in their development. When you don't support their head and neck, they can have injuries. The injury might not be manifest, but over time, they might start having what we call failure to thrive. They might start giving us signs that they are not doing well. It can affect them psychologically. It can affect their brains. It can affect their whole physical development. So cradle your baby when you're carrying your baby. Support the head of your baby when your baby is upright or when you want to lay your baby down. Carefully do that. Be very, very conscious when you're carrying your baby, when you're bringing your baby out, when you're laying your baby down. Very, very careful. The younger they are, the more they are prone to injuries. And because babies are not going to tell us if they are in pain, some of them might not have the energy to even cry, to kind of communicate with you that they need help. They are very vulnerable. Now, the third point, on no account should you shake your baby. On no account should a newborn be, you don't shake any baby. Talk more of a newborn. There is a syndrome we call shaking baby syndrome. When you shake your baby in any shape or form, you can actually harm that baby. you can actually kill that baby. So never shake your newborn, whether in play or in frustration. Be careful. One little mistake can damage your family and damage your baby. Shaking your babies in any shape or form can lead to brain bleeding and even death. It might not happen instantaneously. Some babies can actually have what we call SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. You must observe this, especially if you live in a culture where everybody is trying to intimidate you. Everybody is trying to tell you what to do. But remember, you are the first custodian of the baby. You have to protect your baby. It doesn't matter if they think you're going crazy, if they feel you're insulting them, or if they think you're stupid. It's okay. People are gonna think whatever they think, but please protect your baby. If you need to wake your baby up, don't shake your baby. You can tickle your baby. You can blow gentle, breeze on the cheek. You can tap on your baby gently, but please, on no account should you shake your baby. Make sure your baby is securely fastened in the carrier or stroller or car seat. Normally in a developed setting, before you go home, they will check every single thing about the safety of the baby. They will make sure they teach you how to put the baby in baby's car seat. Very, very important. If you don't pass the test, you're not going to go home. They have to check this. It's our responsibility to protect our baby. So your baby must be securely fastened in the carrier, in the stroller, because over time, you're still going to be going back and forth for appointments, especially the first appointment after 6 weeks of delivery. It's called preparing. Very important. Limit any activity that can be too rough or bouncy. So if you live in a rough area, if the road you're going to apply is messed up, be careful. Personally, definitely you don't have to go home on an Okada. Definitely you don't have to go home on a keke. Make sure you go home. If you have a bad road, go home in an SUV. If you have to borrow. Please, my people, we have to go above and beyond to protect our babies. Remember that your newborn, it's not ready for rough play. So being jiggled or on the knee or thrown in the air, definitely a no-no. We have to protect our baby. We have to protect our baby. Nobody can protect our baby except us. The care of the baby is an extensive topic. We can't even begin to talk all about them today. But the key points I'm giving you are the things I want you to put into effect. So if you don't know, I'm going to make available my script so you can take it home. You can get used to them. So what you do is going to affect your baby. Now, regarding feeding your baby, definitely make sure you feed your baby on demand. Don't allow 4 hours to pass without giving your baby breast milk. It's advisable you give your baby only breast milk for the first 6 months. It's called exclusive breastfeeding. You don't need water. You don't need formula. Everything your baby needs is in that breast milk. Now, if for some reasons you are not able to express, if for some reason you still need to do a couple of things, you can still express your breast milk and you store them appropriately. But by any means possible, make sure you feed your baby. Now, if you pay attention to your baby is going to drop weight and your baby is going to add weight. That's expected. Every singular newborn is going to drop and add. There are expected weight we need a baby to add. When you are going home, we are going to give you a growth chart. We are going to monitor that baby to make sure that the baby is doing okay. Now, by the time you're home, before you go home, we are giving you the specific vaccination that the baby will need at that particular time of birth. Now, by the time you go home, keep in touch with subsequent vaccinations. Make sure you vaccinate yourself. In this era of COVID, please get your COVID vaccine. Everybody at home who is of age must, by default, get their COVID vaccine. Pregnant women can have COVID vaccine. Believing for baby mothers, fathers can have COVID vaccine. So all the adults in your home should be protected when you have your vaccine. If your younger ones are not able to have theirs because of the cutoff point, you will be protecting them. Sadly, the vaccine is not going to stop us completely from picking COVID, but if we pick it up, it's going to reduce the severity. So we have to be there and protect our baby. This is our responsibility. I know you might not believe in vaccine, you might not believe in this, you might not believe in that, but one bad move can have a detrimental effect in your baby. So everybody in your home should play as a team to protect your baby. Now, the next point is bonding and soothing. How do you bond with your baby? Bonding is most probably the most pleasurable part of an infant care. So you see all those love you have inside of you, all those endorphins, all those love you've been wanting to express to your baby. You can begin it by bonding. This is very sensitive time. It's important it starts within the first hours and days after birth. So if you pay attention, we actually allow the fathers to be inside the delivery room so you can see for yourself. We normally allow the fathers to cut the umbilical cord. Once we have severed the umbilical cord from the baby, we put the baby on the chest of the mother. And we don't need to teach the baby to begin to look for the breast. The baby already knows where the breast is. So the earlier you put your baby on your breast, the better. It's important you do this within the first hour. Some women might have had CS, so we have to monitor you. Once you are recovered, we must put the baby on your chest. The baby must start breastfeeding. This is very, very important. Now, for the fathers, you are a complete stranger when it comes to that baby. The mother already has a relationship. You carry this baby for 9 months in your belly. So both of them understand each other. Both of them are best friends. So the fathers will need to put up a lot of show. You need to create our time. You need to be there so that your baby can recognize you. All fathers are advised to do what we call kangaroo care. Make sure you keep your baby's body to your body closely so they can get used to you and feel the warmth. It's protective, especially if your baby came very early. If your baby came before 37 weeks, they need that kangaroo care. It works like magic. When you are close physically to your baby, it promotes emotional connection. For infants, attachment will contribute to their emotional growth, which directly will also affect their physical growth. So emotional growth will help in physical growth. When you do this, when you come back for follow-up, we'll discover that your baby is doing okay. So please, bonding is equivalent to falling in love with your baby. There is no other person that can love their child like the mother. The love between a mother and a child, we have not defined it in the dictionary. So this is the time to show all the love. Showing love to your baby requires a lot of knowledge, requires a lot of attitude, requires a lot of practices. So this is the time to know how to protect your baby. Children thrive from parents or adults when they feel loved unconditionally. Remember, your baby is dependent on you 24 hours. So begin your bonding by cradling your baby, gently stroking them in different patterns. It helps them. You might not see the difference now, but over time, they will get used to that. So both you and your partner can also take the opportunity to do skin to skin. It's called kangaroo care. It's mainly recommended for babies that came early. So skin to skin means stripping your baby, but make sure the temperature is not too high or cold. And keeping your baby skin to skin, holding your baby to your skin directly when you're feeding them or when you're cradling them. This is very, very important. If you can do this, believe me, the experience you will have as a new baby, as a new mother, as a new father will be indescribable. Okay, so thank you. That's my presentation. I'm going to allow the clinic for question and answer. Okay? All right. So let's take care of your questions, please. If you have questions, please go ahead and ask now. I'll provide you questions. I'll provide you feedbacks. Ask your questions, please. And if you need help, follow admin. Admin is going to guide you and make sure you're properly attended to. Okay, let's see. Okay. Doc, when you say don't shake your baby, does it mean you are not to rock them also on a rocker? Look, Practically, do not shake your baby. As simple as that. Now, I know probably your mother, your grandmothers, your grandfather, they threw you up in the air and they caught you, right? They did all that to us. But please don't try it again. Don't shake your baby, whichever way you understand it. Shaking. Whether you're frustrated, because let me tell you the truth. Becoming a parent is not easy. These babies will change your life. Matter of fact, you don't have a life. Starting from day one to right now, once you have kids, that's a contract you've signed for life. They will shake your life. They will replace everything about you. It's a love journey you cannot end. So when I say shaking, I practically mean shaking. There is a medical syndrome we call shaking baby syndrome. When you shake your baby, when you throw your baby in the air and you can cut them, but you might have damaged their brain. They might start having failure to thrive. They might start having developmental delays. They might start having problems. Some of them can die. Some of them can suddenly have what we call sudden infant death syndrome. So do not, capture that for me. Do not shake your baby, especially at the initial stage of birth and throughout their toddler stage. Be careful. Protect your baby, okay? Your practices is very important. What our grandparents, what our parents did to us might not thrive now. It's actually an abuse. It's just like flogging your kids. It's just like, giving them manual punishment. It's no longer tenable now. There are so many ways you can still do the right things, but this is a different era. So do not shake your babies, okay? All right, guys, ask your questions. This is a very good learning opportunity for new mothers. Why does your newborn make noise while breathing, like one with catheter? The most important organ in the body of a newborn is the lungs. So before your baby is born, there are some substances that will help your baby's lung to be well structured. It's called surfactants. So this is one of the things that newborn babies will struggle with. Now, if your baby is having those noisy breathing, it can be a couple of things. It might be just allergies. It might just be adaptation, or it might be a sign of infection. Anytime your baby is having difficulty in breathing, please take that baby to a neonatologist. Very, very, very important. So that difficulty breathing, that noisy breathing, that catarrh or whatever, report to the doctor immediately. As an adult, you can afford to assume, you can afford to delay, but your babies cannot talk. Your babies can only give you sign. There are a couple of things you need to be on the lookout for in your newborn. If your newborn is not feeding properly, is not latching properly, your newborn is constantly crying without being consoled, there is a problem. If you notice your newborn is not breathing properly, there is a problem. If you notice your newborn is turning blue, a newborn baby is supposed to be pink. If you notice that the color of your baby is turning blue, that's a danger sign. If you notice that your baby is not moving the limbs, there are expected movements for newborn babies. If you notice anything unusual, it's better you go to the doctor than to stay back, or for your mom or for your grandmom to tell you, oh, don't worry, babies normally do okay. There are so many things they will teach you. There are so many things they might want you to do. Don't do them. It's a war. Let me repeat again. Your mom, your husband's mom, whoever is coming around, they might want to intimidate you. They might want to tell you things to do when they did their own. It's their time. This is your own baby. Follow due process. Growing up, so many mothers can easily put spoon on the mouth of a baby, put salt when the baby is convulsing, or put so many concussions. Not in this era. You can be respectful, but you can say no to protect your baby. Okay? Now, there's another thing I forgot to tell you guys. Rooming with your baby, but not in the same bed. Baby should be put back to sleep in baby's crib without any clothing there, without any weapon there. The blanket in the crib can be a weapon. Babies can roll over and that blanket can kill them. Babies should not be in the same bed with adults. I know so many people have tactile babies. We have tactile babies. Our two babies, actually grown-ups, Nanzara and Dumeje, they are so tactile. They have social anxiety and all that. But guess what? When you need to do the right things to protect your baby. We have had cases of parents, loving parents that rolled over when they were sleeping and they killed their baby accidentally. So we must must go above and beyond to protect our babies. 100%. Say no, don't hesitate to say no. If people are coming to your home and they are not doing the right thing, stop them. If they are not washing their hands, you can walk them away. My people, look, especially Nigerians, it's okay. They can call you names, but your baby will be alive. This is a fight. Protect your babies. Very, very important. Okay, let's continue, guys. Good evening. Is there anything you can do to stop a colicky baby? So colicky, it's a commoner thing that happens to babies. So you see, the baby's stomach and intestine are still developing. So as they are stretching, when they are feeding, when air is entering there, as those intestines and stomach are stretching, babies can have colicky pain. Most babies, if you notice, no matter what you do to them, they will be crying all over the place. It's not unusual to have those babies very uncomfortable when they are going through those colicky pain. It's just the way the intestines are trying to adjust. What you need to do, which I normally advise all mothers, take your baby to a healthcare provider, a pediatrician, not just any doctor. Let the doctor do the assessment. Once you notice anything not in tandem with normality in your baby, escalate. It's okay if they know you as the woman that is always calling up and down and coming with their baby. Please do that. Now, there are a couple of things you can do that can give your baby an edge. Like if you're giving your baby exclusive breastfeeding, babies that were exclusively breastfed might have a huge advantage compared to babies that were on formula. Babies that were exclusively breastfed can easily get those immunity from the mother, from the breast milk, and develop their immunity faster compared to formula. So your baby is better off from what you give your baby. Matter of fact, within a few hours of delivery, that first breast milk that comes out contains what we call colostrum. Very powerful content in the breast that produces a lot of immunity in your baby. So make conscious effort to initiate breastfeeding early. Some women might have problems with their breast milk coming. It's okay. A lactational specialist is going to walk you through. So many women are going to struggle when it comes to breastfeeding, but don't give up. But remember, there are some factors that can affect your breastfeeding. If you're stressed, if you're not resting, if you're not getting enough water, if you're not getting help, you're going to be stressed. When you're stressed, your prolactin is not going to be within the normal range. When your prolactin is not going to be within the normal range, your breast milk is not going to run expectedly. Now, if you don't express your breast milk, they will be filled to the brim. They will go through what we call engorgement. And it's a very, very painful experience to have breast milk and it's not coming out. So make conscious effort to express your breast milk as soon as possible. Is it possible for a mother of twins to do exclusive breastfeeding? Why not? If you get enough help, you can do that. You see, it's very easy to say, I want to have twins, I want to have triplets, I want to have quadruplets. It's a lot of responsibility. It's tough, but it's doable. But most people that have multiple pregnancy, we have different plans of helping because you do not ever want your baby not to be well nourished. Every singular baby must get every single thing they need. So if you as a mother of twins is not able to sustain what your baby needs, then we can come in with fortified formula you can use. But we always advise all mothers to try and give their exclusive breastfeeding. Okay? All right. Is the case of death of a mother or sickness, it's formal, good? Your question is completely confusing, my dear. Please take time. Let me read what you wrote. Is the case of death of a mother or sickness is formal good for newborn baby? I don't understand what you asked, my dear. Take time, rephrase your question and come back again, okay? All right, guys, ask your questions. Ask your questions. Can a breastfeeding mother take the vaccine? Why not? Everybody should take the vaccine. There is nobody that we told not to take the vaccine. Normal people getting ready to become a mother, already pregnant, breastfeeding, new mother, you need to protect your baby by protecting yourself. As of this moment, they have done researches. They did not find any connection between your fertility, between your pregnancy, and the vaccine. This is coming from CDC and WHO. I know so many of you have so many motivations, so many political and religious beliefs. What I'm telling you is what I know will work for you and work for your family. Live to tell the story. Don't be a statistic. There are so many people that have gone, they should have been here, but because of their practices, because of what they believe, because of what they told them, they are not here today. Live to tell the story about the pandemic. Live to tell your kids how you guys survived the pandemic. Please protect your community, protect your family. Some of the family members might have it. They might survive it, but you might not survive it. Let me give you an example. You have an elderly parent. You have an elderly grandparent living in your home. They have a lot of comorbidities. So comorbidity means they have so many diseases. They have so many pills they are taking. Their immune system is messed up. Now, they can also have toddlers who might actually pick COVID-19. And they might not come down with big, manifestation. They can just survive it. Some people might even have COVID. They won't even know they have COVID. They will survive it. But they can transfer that COVID to your grandparents, to your parents who are struggling to live. And they can kill them indirectly. My people, if you don't have options, if you don't have evidence, if you don't have concrete, this is what happens. Why do you want to sit on the fence? Why do you want to play poker with your life? We are talking about life and death. So there is nobody as of today that came out categorically and said, this is this, this is that. What we know now, to survive 2020 is a miracle. To be in 2021 is an additional miracle. If you're Nigerian, they call it Jara. If you made it to 2021, God gave you Jara. So refuse to go in 2021 so you can see 2022 and you can tell the world how you survived 2022 and 2021. So go and protect your family. Let's tell ourselves the truth. There are so many people that don't even have the vaccine. Like in Nigeria, I don't know how many people that have access to the vaccine. So if you're in a location where they have access to the vaccine and you're still sitting on the fence and you're still experimenting and you're still doing this and you're still doing that and you went to church today, they confuse you. People are dying every day from COVID. People that should have survived. Do you know the reason why we are still standing today? When you were in the hospital, before you went home, they gave your baby OPV, oral polio vaccine. They gave your baby BCG. They gave you tetanus. They are all vaccines, my people. Can you remember that big patch on your shoulder? They gave us all this. We survived because of them. Don't experiment with your life, my people. You see, you might not understand what it takes for me to show up every day. But I research and I make sure that what I teach you guys is the current practice. But people don't even take it serious. Some, few do. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Live to tell the story. Admin, capture that for me. Live to tell the story of how you survived this deadly time. This is not a normal time. This is an abnormal time. Be wise. Be wise. Okay? All right. Let's continue. Can a breastfeeding mother take palm wine, water, for more breast milk? No. Palm wine is alcohol. Admin, capture this for me. You do not have any business with alcohol. As a new mother, as a pregnant woman, alcohol can have detrimental effect. I know so many of our mothers and so many of our grandmothers and so many of all those aunties, they told you so many things. They gave you so many concoctions. Oh, take this so you can wash your belly. There is no connection between when you eat, when you put anything in your mouth, it's going to go to your stomach, it's going to go to the large intestine, small intestine, then pass out through the anus. So anything they are giving you in your mouth to wash your womb, that's not, that it doesn't go to your womb. Your womb is completely different from your digestive system. There are certain things you must avoid with everything in you. I was recently teaching a particular class and a lady came, I've been taking stout in my pregnancy. They told me to take stout. Stout is alcohol. Palm wine is alcohol. You don't need palm wine as a pregnant woman. You don't need palm wine as a new mother. You don't need it. It's all myth. You can damage your baby 10 years down the lane. You can damage your baby instantly. Your baby can have what we call failure to thrive. You cannot afford to live on rumors. Completely not tenable. Okay? After having your baby through CS, you had eclampsia. Your breast stopped with medicine. Now, baby does not have breast milk. Can formula, okay, if I understand correctly, my sister, your pregnancy was complicated. Eclampsia, it's a very, very deadly condition that can happen in pregnancy. Some women can start with pre-eclampsia, a condition of complicated hypertension in pregnancy with a couple of other things. If you survived your pregnancy, you had CS, that CS they gave you is to save you and your baby. If we don't go for CS, if you're having eclampsia, you can actually die on the table. So the most important thing, my sister, is that you survived. So if your pregnancy is complicated, definitely we're not going to be talking about exclusive breastfeeding. We're going to be talking about the fact that we saved you and your baby. So it's about survival. So definitely, if you had CS to start with, we need to give your baby something before you recover. So women that had CS might not start breastfeeding immediately, but we need to keep your baby going because your baby needs to eat something. So the good thing is that you survive, my sister. So you're a special candidate for formula. So you don't need to worry about that at all. You survived. Eclampsia is an emergency in pregnancy. Preeclampsia is an emergency in pregnancy. We must be wise. And this is why you need to use a good hospital. Because your pregnancy might be going okay and suddenly we need to go for CS. Like this lady, if you didn't have a facility that had access to doing CS immediately, we would have lost the baby. We can even be thinking about losing you right now. So please, in this era of doctors going on strike in Nigeria, please, if you registered in a private, if you registered in a state hospital, in a federal hospital, and they went on strike, I don't want you going to social media and be complaining, oh, the doctors are not on strike. Go and find money and register in private hospital. We cannot allow to hear the stories that touch the heart. This is not Tales by Moonlight. We must save all our babies. So all pregnant women in Nigeria, listen to me right now. You might not have money, but it's no longer about money. It's about delivering your baby. So you must prioritize your baby. There are so many people that are listening to me right now that are pregnant, but they are tiptoeing. They don't want to go to ANC until they begin to bleed, until they begin to have contraction, until they begin to have complications. You cannot afford to have complications before you begin to seek help. This is not fire brigade approach. You must protect your baby. No matter how you complain in Nigeria, the government doesn't care about you. Your governors doesn't care about, I'm telling you the truth. They can be formulating their policy. Look at how long it's taking them to negotiate with doctors. Today they will say, oh, the doctors want this, they're going on strike. Everybody is looking out for themselves. And nobody can protect your family except you. So use the best hospital. If you are in Lagos, ask for the best delivery hospital. If you have to borrow money, go borrow money. Transition from the state hospital to a private clinic. Unfortunately, the doctors that should be running the state hospital have their private practices. It might be expensive, but you will have your baby. You will live to tell the story. You cannot be pregnant and you lose your baby at this time. You cannot. You will not forgive yourself. Okay, look at this lady. Let's use her case. She said, I almost lost my life. So I can say what happened in her case. You see, when you're pregnant, your pregnancy can suddenly go south. Your baby can suddenly be distressed. We might have a need to give you CS immediately. But the best CS is elective CS. We give you a date. You can even choose your own date. If you're closer to when you have your birthday, you can even select the same birthday with your baby. We come and section you and bring your baby out. So in this lady's case, it's possible she had complications. There are so many things that can go wrong in your pregnancy. And if we don't have the right expertise, you can die. You can die, my sister. You can lose your baby. This is no joke. So you have to prioritize your pregnancy. Let me tell you the truth. In a country that care about their citizens, they give women first-class services. Anywhere you see a pregnant woman, if she's planning to stand in the queue, put her in the front seat. Anytime a pregnant woman goes anywhere, we give them preferential treatment. We protect our own. When we have a need to go to the hospital. When my wife, was pregnant of Zara, it took them 10 minutes to intervene. 10 minutes. Time is of essence in your pregnancy. So if you're listening to me right now, it's possible you're in our lounge. For some reason, the pregnant women in our lounge are not asking questions. They are not talking. They are not asking anything until the inevitable happens. They begin to run up and down. Please, if you have access to our lounge and you're there and you don't ask questions, you don't use your opportunity, you don't do nothing, you're not doing us any favor. We are out there to help you. Now, if you are pregnant already, but you haven't registered for your ANC because suddenly all you want to be is to become pregnant, you cannot go the 9 months alone. You cannot. You cannot take chances. So many of you look for babies for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. Then suddenly you are pregnant. You begin to play smart Nigerian. You are not helping your baby. You are not helping yourself. Go to the best. Sometimes the difference between the place you are calling expensive might be 50,000 naira, might be 100,000. My people, it's your baby worth 50,000 naira. It's your baby worth 100,000 naira. Guess what? You might not have money, but nobody can keep your baby. Nobody can use your baby as a collateral. They will definitely send you home. Nobody can take your baby away, but they can take your car away. They can take your house away. They can strip you of your clothing. They can take all your clothes. They can make you poor overnight, but nobody can take your baby away from you. So protect your baby. Go to the best. Your sister is a new mom. She likes to drink a lot of powdered milk and Milo. Now, look, powdered milk and Milo, it's a form of beverage, okay? They don't contain alcohol, so it's okay. But the watchword is quantity. So even as a new mother, you need to be careful what you consume. You should not just be consuming the whole food at home. If they ask you, you tell them, oh, don't you know I'm a new mother? You need to be careful. You need to definitely eat adequate food to make sure you take care of your baby. So there is no problem with taking powdered milk and Milo. They are all both beverages. But the key word is what? Quantity and quality. Okay, guys, let's continue. Let's actually wrap up. And I'm not surprised. Look at the numbers attending this clinic. 45. If we are talking about multiple pregnancy, thousands. Important things we don't take serious. We are chasing shadows. We want quick fix. I've taken time to study our community. So many of us don't get it yet. And it's very painful that when we share important topics, when we share important articles that should help us, we don't even open it to read. We don't read. We want quick fix. Oh, doctor, I'm bleeding. Oh, doctor, what are you doing? Oh, I'm having pain. You want to fix it now. Nothing develops overnight. Nothing. You can afford to do silly things by yourself, but once you're pregnant, you no longer have that liberty. Please, if you are pregnant, if you are attending this clinic and you are pregnant and you are resident, people that live outside Nigeria, you have better facilities. So I might not begrudge you, okay? You can just make sure you're doing the right things. But please, my people, if you are pregnant in our community and you're not in our lounge, I don't know what to tell you. Look, I'm being very real. You must change the way you approach everything about your life. Most times we allow things to happen, then we begin to call God. There are so many things that God has nothing to do with our carelessness. It's us causing ourselves pain. It's our mindset. If you prioritize important things will be top priorities. But if you prioritize your gossip, you go about gossiping, looking for soft sale and things that don't even have anything to do with your health. You spend a lot of data on gossip column. You spend a lot of money on things, which is good. Those things are good. Don't misunderstand me. It's good to go for Big Brother. They're very, very good. But hey, this is your health. How much money have you spent on your health? How much money have you spent on your infertility? Are you doing the right thing? Have you gone for your well woman check? Have you gone for your pap smear? What exactly is the problem? Have they discovered what the problem is? Some of you need just 2,000 naira to get help. But you have already programmed your mind that, oh, I don't have money. But you're wearing millions in your body. Come on now, my people. Okay? Last time I checked, watermelon is a fruit. eat all your fruits, both in your pregnancy, both as a new mother, both as a normal food. You see, this person will come and tell you, oh, don't eat pawpaw, don't eat pineapple, don't eat this, don't eat that. If you're not careful, you'll be malnourished. So long as it's an edible food, eat them. There is nothing wrong with your watermelon. And if there is anything to avoid in your pregnancy, and as a new mother, because some of you might have need for episiotomy. Now, let me tell you the worst combo you can have as a woman. If you are pregnant and you have constipation, you're finished. It's the worst form of experience you can have. So your best friend at any point in time in your pregnancy is what? Water, vegetables, and fruits. You want to be regular. Because by default, as a pregnant woman, you are prone to having hemorrhoids, which you guys call pile. So you do not want to be constipated. Now, imagine giving you episiotomy. Episiotomy is the surgical cut we give you when you're delivering so that your baby can come out so you won't have to. Imagine being in episiotomy pain. We'll give you painkillers and antibiotics and all that. Then you are constipated. Oh my God. You see, there are some pain you can't even put on a scale of 1 to 10. So you don't want to have constipation, my people. Normally, when we are giving you a couple of, blood tablets, they can cause constipation. So we normally give you stool softener. But the natural softener you can have is your fruits and vegetable. So there is no problem with watermelon, okay? All right. Must antibiotics be given to a child of 1 to 2 months? Now, the question you're asking is very simple. You don't decide what you give your baby. You take your baby to a pediatrician. You can afford to go and take all the antibiotics in the chemist in your location. You can afford to be treating yourself malaria and typhoid that you don't have, but don't try that with your baby. Do not give your baby anything. The only thing you need to give your baby is your breast milk. If you notice your baby is having fever, vomiting, not breathing properly, take that baby to the emergency immediately. Don't wait till the following day. You might wait till the following day and your baby is gone. This is reality. So it's not for you to begin to wonder if you're going to give your baby antibiotics at 1 to 2 months. There are age, month specific antibiotics we can give your baby if your baby needs it. We are very careful with babies. Very, very, very careful with babies. We don't joke for babies. And this is my area. Maternal and child health. I don't joke with this. It pains me showing up 42 weeks. I lost my pregnancy. 38 weeks. I lost my pregnancy. They were doing this. They were doing that. And you begin to cry. Crying is not going to bring that baby back. But we can do something. We can empower ourselves. We can know that if we need to go for CS, we go immediately. We can know that the concept of Hebrew women is nonsense. Completely nonsense. Some of you need to look your husband eyeball and say, you know what? Please, can you leave this theater right now? I need to have my baby right now. Can you do that? Some of you refuse to sign the dotted line, and your wife will code on the table there, and you begin to think and write all those nonsense, and within 2 months, they're going to marry another woman. Be wise. There are certain things you can do for yourself as a woman. You don't need to put application for 2,000 naira. To buy pad, 10 classes, 2,000. Come on. Get busy. Go hustle. Do something. The fact is they don't understand it the way you understand it. If they are not members of this community, they will not know the need for ANC. Unfortunately, someone that claimed to have been following me since 2015 was still asking the meaning of PPP. How can you be following me since 2015 and you don't know what we mean by praying, and you don't know what we mean by playing, and you don't know what we mean by practicing? So what have you been doing since, my sister? We need to wake up. My people, we need to wake up. We are so complacent. I know some of you that feed on the surface. They will also, Dr. Chudi, why are you angry? Dr. Chudi, why are you this? Why are you that? Why are you? Look, you will not understand how I feel when I see a baby that should be here with us, when I see a woman that should be bonding with a baby crying and writing nonsense in Facebook and thinking they're going to resurrect your baby. Protect your family, my people. And if you ever get pregnant, Choose adoption over abortion. The era of taking your postinol is gone. It doesn't matter how old you are and you became pregnant. You keep your baby. Keep your baby. Some of us are so careless. Some of us are so experimental. Your friends will tell you this. You begin to practice it. What are you doing? And you have access to this group. When a baby has constant congestion in the lungs and was given saline water, it doesn't cure. Take your baby to the pediatrician. Don't experiment with your baby. All questions about your baby should be channeled to a pediatrician. There's a special pediatrician that looks after new babies. They are called neonatologists. Very important. Is eating pineapple good for pregnant women? All edible fruits are okay. In pregnancy, in childbirth, completely okay. All right? All right, let's see. If you need to register to be under me, very easy. Follow admin, and admin can attend to you. Okay. After the eclampsia, they placed you on Keppara. Okay. Now, 4 months, good. You survived, my sister. You could have died. Eclampsia. Matter of fact, you went into eclampsia. That means you had convulsions, right? You were convulsing. You were about going. In Nigeria, if you have convulsion, they would say that evil spirits are coming to take you away, or you are Wanjo Abiku. That's what we believe. We spiritualize everything. But anybody can have convulsion. Anybody can have epileptic fits. Anybody. If you don't eat now and you go into hypoglycemia, you can have epileptic fits. It's not evil spirit, my people. Some women that recently had their baby and they got overwhelmed, they develop maternal blues, they develop postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis. They begin to take you to prayer houses, they begin to bind and cast nonsense. It's a medical problem. It's a medical problem. Stop doing all this. Let's save ourselves. There's a reason why we went to medical school. There is a reason why God gave us this knowledge. It's tough showing up every day. Every single day. Let's make good use of this opportunity. New babies are meant to be spitting. That's a constant. Don't worry about things that don't matter. Okay? Don't worry about them. It's no problem. Okay, let's see what we can cover before I go. Okay? All right. Okay. Well, my dear, your question is not clear, but if I understand correctly, if you have bilateral, anytime you have bilateral, it's double, okay? It's called hemorrhagic means bleeding, okay? So I don't know, I'm not gonna put fear or, tell you whatever. So follow up with this doctor. If they found any bleeding in the brain of your baby, then we need to do something different, okay? All right. Always go with the professionals. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let's actually wrap up. I have 3 minutes. This clinic is supposed to last for 30 minutes, but every Sunday when you get in the mood, you have to do what you need to do. Okay, guys, let's wrap up. I'm looking for questions. Okay. If you still have questions, if your questions are not addressed, you can ask them before I go. But please be careful. Protect your newborns. Nobody can protect our newborns better than us. Nobody. And there is something called mother instinct. There are certain things that your doctor cannot pick up, but as a mother. There are certain periods my wife will come and tell me, oh, Dumeje or Zara, and I go with them because she can pick up some signals, which I might not pick. Protect your babies. Okay? Okay. Is it still lady? You had seizure, you had high blood pressure, you have cardiac arrest. Your baby was born just 1 week and 2 days, the eclampsia set in, and you have some depression, the baby not breastfeeding. Don't worry about it, my sister. Your baby is here. You survived. You actually came back from the land of the dead. I don't know where you reside, but if you had high blood pressure, you had seizure, you have cardiac arrest, they gave you CS, your baby is here. Whether baby is breastfeeding or not, I don't care. Your baby is fine. Don't even worry about the breastfeeding. Your baby is going to take formula and it's going to be fine. Your depression is going to be attended to. So the question is, are you doing the right things? Who is taking care of you? What support system do you have? Like right now, you need help. You're sick. Your depression alone is a signal for help. Unfortunately, we don't take mental health serious. We think that people that have depression and anxiety are going crazy because we stigmatize. So my sister, you survive. You have to be thanking God every single second that you survive. They could have done your obituary by now. This is a reality. Look, I'm keeping it real. So don't worry about the breastfeeding or not breastfeeding. Your baby is going to be fine. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming. The question about ovulation, let me actually wrap up with this. Ovulating on day 12 while your cycle is, look, this should be the list of your concern, my sister, okay? Admin, please, can you post the formula for calculating ovulation? What you need to calculate your ovulation, remember, it's calculating and it's estimate, okay? What you need is your cycle. So you need to know your cycle. If your cycle is 29 days, if it's constant 29 days, completely normal. You don't need to freak about anything. You just need to apply factor 14. So factor 14 means you minus 14 from 29. It's going to give you the tentative date, which is 15. 15 and 14, very close. So you have a completely normal period. Normal cycle. Now, the only way for us to know if you're ovulating or not is to go and see a gynecologist. So you might have all the signs that you're ovulating and you might not be ovulating. So we need to confirm. Okay? All right, guys, my time is up. Thank you for coming. Now, later this evening, make sure you attend my YouTube. It's going to come up by 3 p.m. We're going to talk about how to have successful IUI, intrauterine insemination or artificial insemination. So many people are going to need IUI. So many people are going to need IVF. So many people will need fertility treatment. So many people will need surrogacy. So many need to go and adopt. Whichever option you choose, become a mother by 2022. Do not waste time. Let me tell you your reality. You can be a good Christian. You can be heading to heaven, but you might go to heaven alone. Deal with your reality now. If you are 35 years and above, you should be in third stanza of your story. You should not be in first stanza because you are not in the same category with women below 35. Your time is taken. I will come across some people in my inbox, 47. Doc, I've been wanting to have a baby 15 years ago. I'm 47. I'll be 48. What can I do? I will send you the link to subscribe. You disappear. Because you go to church, they will tell you, don't worry, God is going to finish it. God is going to, at 47, my sister, 47. So the big question I will ask us before I go today, what are you going to do differently today to help yourself and help your family? Because guess what? Whether you like it or not, when God chose you to be a woman, your families are here. Every singular woman listening to me today, this is where your whole family, your boys, your girls, they are all here waiting for you to take action. Unfortunately, if you don't take action and they are all gone, they can be gone. It finishes. Your eggs can finish. When your eggs finish, you have gone into menopause. And when you no longer have, you borrow. So you can still be a mother when you don't have, but you need to borrow. Just like you can borrow blood to survive. But your families are here. Nobody can take it away from you. So the question I'm going to ask you before I go, what are you going to do differently today? How are you going to approach this, your infertility? How are you going to tell the story of breastfeeding? Like today's topic is for people that have babies, right? Some people are not even seeing themselves as mothers. You're caught up in your infertility. And some of your infertility is self-imposed. If you are not making love with your partner 48 hourly and you're complaining you have infertility, you don't have infertility, my sister. You have a self-imposed, temporal, mediated, quasi-infertility. Because if you make love with your partner, you're going to become pregnant. So what are you doing with the knowledge you're getting from this group? Since January, you've been following me, you've been showing up, you've been shouting, anywhere we shout PPP. Are you genuinely PPP? Are you genuinely practicing? Are you genuinely prayer? What kind of prayer do you pray? When you go down on your knees, what do you ask God? Do you tell God to connect you to the people that will tell you the truth? How do you deal with your truth? How long do you stay in your denial? How long? Social media can be very distracting. You might be in a place, you show up, you begin to hang around people that have completed their family. You begin to be in the group and you gossip with them and you post pictures and you dance and you laugh and you forgot the reason why you're in social media. And you forgot the reason why you're in this group. You are strictly in this group if you don't have a baby to have your babies. Very simple. And you can become a mother. Nothing can stop you. Change your ways. Change your knowledge base. Change your attitude. Change your perception. The change you want, it's here. I don't think there is any organization that shows up every single day, come rain, come shine, preaching the same message, telling you the good news. Knowledge is not a problem. It's for you to put it into practice. So I'm challenging you today. If you don't want to be in the same position you found yourself in 2021, take bold step. I dare you to go and pray and play and practice. I dare you today to get the help you need. I dare you today to go for your well woman check. I dare you today to go and see a fertility specialist. Today, not tomorrow. I dare you to have a family meeting. I dare you to budget more money. Because unfortunately, my people, is expensive. So don't tell me you went to church today and you're praying that money is the root of all evil. It's a fallacy. You need your money. You need money. Thank you for coming. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Actually, see you guys by 3 p.m. So make sure you attend. It's in YouTube. So admin, do me a favor, please. Can you copy? And let me actually ask, because sometimes you assume. So before I go, how many of us are in our YouTube channel? Admin, please copy the link for our YouTube and put it right now in this thread. I'm asking genuinely. It's all optional. Completely optional. Nobody's going to push you in this group. We are just, we help people that want to be helped. Now, how many of you have taken time to click on that YouTube link? Click on it and just subscribe. My people, what I'm sharing with you, you pay a lot of money to get. What I'm sharing with you, you're paying money to expatriates who might be third citizens in their country to go and get the knowledge we are sharing free of charge. A YouTube channel, and clicked and subscribed and watched and followed. How many of us are attending today's presentation? How many? How many? How do you spend your data? What are your top priorities? How many of you even read those articles I take time to develop? First thing in the morning, I'm developing articles. Any little time, I'm developing articles. And we don't even read it. How do I know? People don't go there. It's completely bare. We don't read. Please go to the YouTube, subscribe, click on notification, watch previous videos. Every single thing you need to become a mother is already provided you. You don't lack anything in this group. We have PDFs. We have previous masterclasses. We have everything you need. We have an upcoming masterclass. Some of you do not have peace in your home because you don't have a baby boy, because you don't have a baby girl. We are now telling you to come less fellowship. Fewer of you are following up. And you are warming up to continue your December 31st to cry into 2022. And when I say so, it's not my portion. How do we practice that not my portion? What are you doing about it? Are you just only praying about it? Enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless you and bye-bye.